So a lot of people are going to be looking back at the results they've just had. A lot of people are going to be disappointed with the results, and there's going to be a fair bit of blame on conditions, on COVID, on governments, on lockdowns, on restrictions. But at the same time, we're seeing a lot of businesses that are profitable, growing and thriving. Welcome to the business behind your business. Conversations to help your business grow and thrive. Hi, I'm Paul Sweeney, founder of Pretium Solutions, chartered accountants and certified business advisors, hosting the business behind your business. Hello and welcome to the business behind your business. And it's the end of financial year here in Australia. And for many of us, we were hoping that 2021 would be a much better year than the year we had in 2020 with COVID. We thought we were beyond the peak of our COVID issues. But here we are, and I'm recording this episode of the podcast in lockdown in Sydney. So thanks for joining me. I'm Paul Sweeney, and I'm your host of the business behind your business. And as a chartered accountant, tax agent, this becomes a busy time of year, and we get a lot of people asking questions about, well, how did I go? And how can I make next year better? And we all want to have a better year coming forward. So what do we need to do now? So there's some administrative things that we need to get tidied up in our businesses so we can wrap up the end of financial year. And that's closing off things like payroll reporting, super guarantee, and our financial statements. So one of the first things we need to do to move forward is to actually assess where we are now. So often when you want to go and start a program, say a fitness program or a health plan, that you get an assessment of where you're at now. So you need to know where you're at now. And so the first thing we need to do is get on top of our numbers. And that means making sure our accounts, our books of account, our accounting system, our Xero, QuickBooks, whatever it is you're using, are up to date, reconciled, and you're able to prepare your end of year financial statements. And that will give you a true picture of exactly what happened in the year that's just gone, where you ended up, so what sort of results you had, what was your profit like. And it'd be good to compare that to previous year's performances. It also gives you an idea of sort of where your cash position is, which is quite helpful to know, because often we need to know how much we need to borrow, how much we're spending, what our cash flow is, how quickly we're getting paid. And a lot of that information you can get from your end of year account. So it's important to get those wrapped up quickly and close to the end of the year as possible. So I know for our clients, our accounting clients, we're aiming to get all of those finished as soon as we can in this July period so that the information is timely and reliable. In the past, a lot of businesses would wait until tax lodgement due dates before they actually look at their financial results for the year. And that makes it very difficult to run your business when you don't know where you're at. It's like driving around blindly but not paying any attention to the street signs or the roads or which suburb you're in or which city. It's not a great way to run a business. It's not a great way to drive a car, but a lot of people still manage their businesses that way. So first step is get on top of your numbers and get your end of year accounts completed as soon as possible. Following on from that, the second thing we need to do is to get our taxes sorted. So we need to know exactly what our tax position is for the 2021 year, for the year that's just gone. Do we have tax payable? Do we receive a refund? Now, if we're receiving a refund, there's an importance to lodge your return quickly to get that refund into your business bank account. So the quicker you lodge your return, the quicker you'll get that refund. The second thing there is that it will affect the installments of company or business tax that you need to pay going forward. So if you are on a reduced tax position, you've got a refund because you might have had a loss and you've overpaid tax, then that will reduce your ongoing installments for the next 12 months. And so it's important from a management of your cash flow, managing the tax cash flow, that we get our returns lodged and get our installments calculated correctly going forward. So cash is one of the most important things for any business, but particularly for small business. It is the lifeblood, and one of the biggest leakages of cash flow in any business is taxation. So we need to manage that. So we need to have a good grasp of where exactly we're at with our tax position, know when the payments are due and how they can be minimized, or how we can manage our cash flow to make sure that we're paying those on time. Now, during the height of COVID, there was, a relaxation from the taxation office, their auditors, about pursuing payment of tax, but that situation has changed, and they're now becoming more diligent in following up people with overdue taxes. So there is an importance to get your tax position, your tax accounts in order and up to date. If you can't manage the payments now, you need to communicate with the ATO and get a payment plan in place. That's very important. So get your taxes sorted, because if you have outstanding taxes, it's going to affect your ability to borrow going forward. And it's also going to affect your future cash flow. It could also cause some major disruptions to your business if you don't get this sorted quickly. So that's the second thing, get our taxes sorted. The third thing is start by setting some goals. Okay, so we've had a year which, we had some peaks and troughs, we had some highlights, and we had a lot of lowlights. So what is your goal for next year? What kind of profit do you want? What kind of hours do you want to be working in the business? What new services do you want? What level of stress are you prepared to accept? What are the things you're going to have to do? So have an idea of where you want to take your business in the next 12 months. When we know where we're going to take our business, we can then start to put in place a plan of what we need to be doing now to make sure that when we're looking at our financial results in 12 months' time, the results show what we wanted, not more of the same. The only way to make our results different is to make some changes in how we operate or the things that we choose to do. So set our goals about financial returns, how much profit we want to receive, how much time we want to be spending in our business, what the cash flow needs to be, and also what our stress levels need to be. Is there a way that we can change the way we do our business to reduce stress? And those goals will help formulate what your business plan is. So our third thing is setting some goals: financial, time, stress, cash. Set those goals, and that will form the basis of your plan, your action plan of what you're going to do. So the fourth thing is we're going to create an action plan. We're going to create a plan of what needs to happen. So the first thing is we set our plan. This is what we're going to do. So we might need to increase sales. How are we going to increase sales? We might need to do more marketing. We might need to revisit our current customers. We might need to increase our prices. So what is our plan going to be? And then once we develop the plan, then we can set our specific actions that we need to take. So with those specific actions, we're going to be looking at what resources do we need? Who needs to do it? What's it going to cost us to do it? And when do we need to do it by? And those actions help us pinpoint the steps that we need to take. They help us to work out what our next steps are. They help to work out whether we've got the resources available, whether we've got the cash available to fund the steps we need to take. So we've got our broad plan, but we need to drill down and make some specific actions there. And once we've got those specific actions, we need to make sure that we implement and become accountable for it. So it's fine to say that we're going to go and increase sales by $100,000 or increase our profit by $50,000, that we're going to introduce new products. But until we actually take steps that are accountable, until we actually are accountable for our steps, what often happens is people will say what they're going to do with good intentions, but it never actually happens. So we need to make sure that we do implement. And that's one of the biggest problems with a lot of plans, a lot of goal setting, is it doesn't actually get implemented. And the easiest way to make sure you implement and implement effectively is to be accountable. So create some accountability. Tell your business associates, your business network, some of the steps you're going to take. Tell some of your key people in your business what you're going to be doing. So be accountable, because the more you're accountable, the more likely you are to proceed with those plans, those actions. And when you proceed with the actions, then you're more likely to achieve the results, that your goals will be met. And then we look back, your financial results for next year are going to be a lot better. So that's one of the outcomes that we want to achieve. We want better financial results, but it all starts with the plan, the goals, the plan, decide the actions and implement. And make sure they happen. And then, of course, once they're in place, we need to review them and say, well, hang on, is it actually working the way that it's meant to be? Are we getting the results that we want? Because if we're not, we need to adjust our strategy. We need to adjust quickly. And that's where getting advice helps. And look, a lot of businesses are really cash poor at the moment, so not able to pay for a lot of advice, but it becomes very key. What is the strategic benefit of getting advice? And when you get advice, you can get advice from somebody that has the experience, can help you identify the right direction to go, the right resources you need, and it's going to be a more efficient process. So it may seem like a cost of getting advice is a cost that your business cannot afford, but it's probably the other way around. And I would say, yes, it is the other way around, that you cannot afford not to get appropriate advice, because that advice will save you money in the long term, save you time in the long term, and help you become more efficient in implementing your plan, your strategy, and realizing the results that you want. So a lot of people are going to be looking back at the results they've just had, and a lot of people are going to be disappointed with the results, and there's going to be a fair bit of blame, and blame on conditions, on COVID, on governments, on lockdowns, on restrictions. But at the same time, we're seeing a lot of businesses that are profitable, growing, and thriving in those conditions. And it's because of the choices that they've made. So they've gone through this 7-step process in prior years, and they've been adaptable because they've got a plan. They want to grow their business. So they've identified they're going to grow sales. So how they're going to grow it, they're going to introduce new products. How they're going to do that? Well, they're going to be ready to do that. So there is a lot that can be done, and a lot of businesses have made those choices. They've looked at the opportunities that are available, they've looked at the conditions, and they've made choices to maximize the benefit to their business, to maximize the growth. They've looked for opportunities and they've acted on it. And they've been able to do that because they know exactly where they're at. They know their financial position, they know their tax position, they've got a plan in place, and they've got the resources available. They've done the work already, so they're quick to move and quick to implement. And you don't get to that position by accident. You need to make some deliberate decisions. And look, getting advice and understanding the conditions you're playing in is really helpful. So this is what we are wanting to achieve for all businesses, is that we want you to be able to grow. We want you to be able to adapt and grow and make next year a better financial year. And helping you grow your business. As a small business owner, one of the problems is that you don't always have the expertise available to you that a bigger business does. So a bigger business has the board of directors advising on different areas. They have the teams for marketing and IT and sales and accounts. As a small business owner, you don't have all of that. And that's what we're trying to deliver to you with the business behind your business. We're bringing the team of experts to you. So keep listening, follow us in your favorite podcast player, and ask us any questions that you have specific to your business. We'd be happy to help you out. So reach out to us through speakpipe.com/the business behind your business and leave us a question, and we'll answer that in one of our upcoming episodes. Thanks for listening. Do you have a question you'd like our team of experts to answer? If you do, send your question to podcast@thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com. To hear more from The Business Behind Your Business, don't forget to subscribe using your favourite podcast player. Or you can visit the businessbehindyourbusiness.com website.